Hi everyone, the Mature Simmer here. Welcome back to Train Simulator. I'm going to be going ahead and working on scenario number 4 from Frankfurt Koblenz. Hello driver, it's a hot summer day today, and you've already done a long shift in the SUX Flirt 3. Your last duty for today is to take this RE2 service between Botched and Mainz. Additional stops, there's a lot of D's there, some additional D's in additional, are required at Oberwesel, Bacharach, Bingen, and Ingelheim. Please let the passengers board here before you leave. Oh, I hit the T key. Alright, so I basically caused myself to crash the last scenario because I inadvertently hit T as I was starting to pull away from the platform, which is the button that does what's happening right now, which is open the doors. And so I immediately got a failure because the train was moving with the doors open. So shame on me. So I'm doing this again, not because I did poorly. I mean, I wasn't, I had made a few errors speeding here and there, but was certainly not a run that I was thinking was trash fully at that point. I had gotten behind a bit somehow, not quite sure how. But again, all these things were workable. But in any event, it ended, and here I am. So, like, basically right now, that's what I hit T, and then I was like, oop, I hit the wrong button, and then I was racking my brain for what T does, and then, like, well, I gotta start moving the train, and I started speeding up, and then suddenly it yelled at me, which it should have. So, here we are. Again, when we didn't necessarily want to be again, so I might have been about halfway done. But I get to enjoy this view again. You are not going to see the rest of it, so other than me telling you, you won't really know that something happened, but now you do. And so we will move along, and once I get myself established at a rate that I can safely move along at, we'll kind of take a look at what we've got here. So if I go here, on a very hot summer day, you are tasked to take an RE2 service from Botched to Mainz. We basically got 6 points we need to deal with, including the one we just took off from. So it's just stopping the piece that I didn't see, so I'm assuming it doesn't exist. Wow, there's a lean on those trains there. It's hard to tell when you're, leaning yourself. Like if you don't meet them before the curve, you wouldn't know that there was something that accentuated, but that explains how we can move so quickly. And anyway, we'll get ourselves up a little quicker, because right now we're only about 15 seconds to the good. And, over 20 kilometers when we started this. But, now the one thing I was curious about, because I think there's a hot scenario on the Washington high-speed line. And at that point, they then limit you to 80 miles an hour, which I think is still, we're not going quite that fast when we're going 160 kilometers, I don't think. I think we're a little below that, but maybe not. But either way, I just wasn't sure if there was going to be some sort of speed reduction because of the heat here in Europe as well, but it doesn't appear to be the case. So they're more comfortable that their trains will be okay and that they won't have any unexpected safety issues. so we didn't have to slow down any. I don't think that was what was causing me the issue, but yeah, by the time I got to Oberwesel here, I was like a minute behind, and it could be because I did hit a few points where I was speeding, and so it's possible that because of that, I like overcompensated and slowed down more. I don't know, but in any event, see if I can do a little bit better. And then I was basically heading into my second stop, and alright, so we need to get down to 100. There we go. So we're good there. It's always good to remember these particular trains have some pretty significantly effective brakes, so you're able to go full bore for longer than one might think. Alright, there we go. You know, and it might be these kind of switches, because again, now I'm only 8 seconds up. 7 seconds. So, you know, there's those kind of little challenges here and there where you don't know. Now we're down to 6, 5. See, and this is where I think I lost some time, but I don't know what else I could really be doing to not lose the time, because I'm pretty much at speed here. So it's almost like the calculation is off a bit or something, because I think when I stopped, then instead of getting the full 167, I only got 127. Which isn't terrible, but it's obviously not full speed. Alright, so I'm just floating around right here again, just trying to stay on time. So I gotta be careful, because if I hit 111, I'm gonna get flagged for speeding. But I think this is all uphill work. Alright, coming up on 10 kilometers. So we'll go here quicker. I think we slow down a little bit more even before we get there. Let's see, now we're 5 seconds behind, but we're right at our speed limit. Like, there's not much else I could be doing. So it's disappointing that it's that tight of a scenario that we can't actually be effective. Because, yeah, I continue to lose speed, and we're still 10 kilometers away, so I could easily end up again a minute behind before I know it here. I'm doing everything I can to try to make that not be the case. I'm going to run this a little tighter as far as the brake again to try to help. But I don't know that that's really going to matter, because it keeps catching us. But nice trip along the river. Definitely a very beautiful space. Yeah, I heard that sound before. That's just the other train. It just sounds so strange. Alright. So, I'm gonna go ahead and get ourselves down here. So that should let us go. But see, now we're 21 seconds behind. Then before we know it, we're now 22 seconds behind. It's just not real great. I'm literally within 1/10 of a mile of where I can be, and it's almost like I feel I need to go a little bit over and see if I can make it up if I get to like 0.5, but I don't think I'll be able to. Nope, we're still losing speed even though we're going over 90. So this is just really, really unfair. I am. I'm gonna call the unfair card. Because it is. But given I can kind of control this, I'm gonna get myself up and, you know, go this little bit faster. 90.6 I think is as brave as I'm gonna be before I let it fall a bit again. Now we'll put ourselves back. A little over 2 kilometers to a slight speed increase, which we'll certainly take advantage of. Because, yeah, I think I was like 50 seconds behind when I stopped before. We're trending pretty darn close to that. If this continues at the pace it is, and obviously no reason to assume it won't, because why wouldn't it? But I am still staying slightly on the throttle here. So again, we'll go to 90.6. See, and even with that, we've lost 10 seconds here in this little segment that I was talking. It's just insane. You know, and trying to be on time, the problem I had was then I hit some speeding points because I was just working it so tightly, and I still ended up behind. But now I know I did everything I could, so alright, I'm just gonna leave it at this point because we're gonna go up to 100, so even if it goes up more. Alright, so we're gonna jack this up as much as we can. So yes, I'm leaving it on 10 on purpose, and then I'll lower it to 4 there, because again it'll probably still keep climbing a bit, maybe not. Alright, maybe we'll go to 10. That might be what we need to get a little bit. See, the problem is I can't see 100.1, 100, I can't do it. Ah. I'm just like playing Russian roulette a little bit. But yeah, I'm almost a minute ahead. I mean, the good thing is I think I was way further down the line when I hit 28 before, so I think I'm doing a little bit better here, but this is still nerve-wracking and not fun. Alright. So, let me get myself slowing down again with my effective brakes. Not at full service yet, because I don't think I need to be. But you'll see, I mean, I'm at 11:28:40. I don't know what else I could be doing here. I'm going to get myself on the platform, but I swear I did something like this before, where then I... was it, you know, a little bit later than I would have liked, and So yeah, same conversation. I got here at 11:29. I'm supposed to leave at 11:29. But no, I'm sure I'm not going to get my full points. It's just really ridiculous. So this was not exactly where I had the problem before. Alright, well, I did better, because last time I had 127. So I got 32 extra points, so I suppose. And then I am behind until I get past the end of the platform. And then it usually, I think, there we go. So we were like 10 seconds, and then we gained some time. So this was going well when I went before, but then I took off from the platform with the door open because I hit an extra button. So let's try not to do that again, please. And then I should be okay. But yeah, gonna take advantage of the fact I can go 140 because obviously this is a tight route, which I've talked about on the German routes before. I mean, obviously they've got everything very, very tightly orchestrated, so. But I am going to go, since I've still got 2.5 kilometers till the 120. I don't want to go too fast, or you know, too slow, and then slough off time again. But we're heading into an area that obviously we're a little less of the terrain moving us around. We've got the 12 underneath showing that we need to slow down. So we will be doing that. Go ahead and start that. Slow down here. There we go. So, like I said, very effective brakes, so I just want to be careful that I'm not taking off more speed than I need to be. Alright, so we'll try 15, and then it looks like we don't speed up any. Whoops. Let's try 10. I think 10 we still fall back. But right now we're, what, 22 seconds positive. So that is a good thing. We're speeding up, so I just want to be careful. And obviously, I don't want to go by our stop, so I do need to also realize I'm going 120. So let me do that. Even with this, we're not even 50% on the brakes, and you know, we're starting to like lose some time already because we've still got over half a kilometer to get to the platform. And you know, now I'm 10 seconds. So it's just definitely interesting to kind of know when you want to hit your brakes. But at this point, I think this will be good. That'll get most of the train on the platform, if not all of it. Yep. And we should be there before 34, which is even better. So now I should get my full time, and then this was the platform that I had hit T, and I don't even know, like, if you do that, can you hit T right away and close it? I don't think so. I think the conductor has to do it, so I think I would have, like, messed myself up anyway. So that alarm that we should be, I guess getting to the platform or stopping. I've never been able to determine that it's anything else. So if it is supposed to be telling me something that I'm not aware of, let me know. So I do have my finger over the brakes in case somehow we're rolling, but I don't think that was it. I think I had hit the gas. So I'm not on the T key. I should be good. So there we go. Doors are closed. I didn't tell them to reopen again. So we'll get going. We'll be able to go 130 pretty quickly. And then we will get to Bingen, which was one we were on the last scenario with. That's where we ended. So this was the part, because of construction, that we couldn't be on. But 13 kilometers. And we will be there. And then we're basically doing that back half into Mainz. Or the back portion. It's probably less than half, but it could be close, because although probably this whole run has been half, because the full run is 105. So 50 minutes would be pretty close to that full amount. Alright, so I've got to be down to 120, so I'll keep this going, but I'll not be pushing it too much, because obviously I have to just take speed away before I know it. So there's the 12 sign. Still almost a kilometer, so we only have to slow down 7 kilometers, 6 kilometers, so not going to do anything super early, so it should not take that long. Alright. There we go. Don't know that I could have done that any better. So, pretty proud of how I set that up. Just putting a little bit of power back in to try to maintain the speed. We are ahead by about 45 seconds. So that is a nice development. Where I think this is where we had started to fall behind before. And I think we did lose a second there, so again, I need to be careful and stay close to the line speed, because obviously they have this down to a science, which one would expect with German stuff. And they tend to be very precise. Alright, I'm just kind of watching in case that goes up to 119. Then I need to be aware that that's happening. I also need to be looking for advanced signals that might be telling us something else. Looks like maybe a little... Okay, so it did go to 119. So definitely then when it goes to 120, I need to slow down a bit. Back the power off to 4%. But advanced warnings are still green, so we don't have any of the slow down to 40 sections yet. Maybe that's going the other direction. I don't know. Or it's just not a segment we've hit yet. But I think going this way, I'm not sure that we will. But doing pretty well on our progress, I would think. Oops. Didn't quite need to go that far, but again, it's that little bit of a panic, like, I don't want to get a speeding penalty. So, you're just extra careful. And then, yeah, I went to the negative, and then obviously that slowed me down a kilometer an hour, which would be expected, given that I had just gone up. So there's a pedestrian walkway, but it didn't give us the warning. Oh, now we're up to 130. Where'd that come from? See, this is where, like, I didn't see anything. So, I don't know. But we're there, 2.3. Gotta be back down to 120. But staying around 40 seconds ahead. Nice parking lot there. Alright, 1.5 kilometers. Alright, and then we're 120, and then we're down to 100, unless we're down to something else, because it tricks us. It's not really a trick, it's just how it works. Whoops. Alright, so again, I think I was like down to 0.4 before I worried about it last time, and I still had a little bit of time, but I don't know that I'm gonna push it much more than that, so. Alright. So we're probably going to slough off a bit of time here. I guess we'll speed up a bit. So we're still 1.3 kilometers away. Again, we know the brakes are pretty effective. So the advanced sign is good. Alright, so I think it's just underneath that overpass. No, actually, it's a ways past that overpass. So I'll let myself go in a little quicker. So again, it's a pretty long platform here. Alright, so put it full service. And we'll be good, because we are on the platform. Alright. So now we're at step 4, so we got 2 more stops. Oh, it looks like we're here for a while. We're here for about 3 minutes. So, and then we've got, what, 9 minutes till the next stop? And then about a 2-minute stop, and then 11 minutes. So we've still got 20 minutes of travel along this route. So, yeah, I'm just wondering if that, like if we're not stopped by the time that alarm is going off, is that the point where, you know, maybe you start losing a few points for not being there yet? I'm not sure. But we're going to be here for a bit. And then, you know, we'll be heading off to the next stop. Yeah, it's really hard to determine the way things are rendered. Like, are these supposed to be there? Are they decorative bushes between the lines? Or are they, in fact, weeds? And they just don't maintain them because obviously there's some danger there of having workers go down and then, maybe not hearing a train go by, because not all the trains stop at all the platforms, as we've seen. And if a plane's whizzing through here at even 90 kilometers an hour, like this speed is, that can be not very in line with keeping your workers alive. If they get hit with a train moving at that speed or anywhere, probably even a tenth of that speed, it would probably do some damage. The train's got a bit of weight to it, so I guess the people do have faces. I was beginning to wonder, because I'm like, they're just so kind of blurred out that it was like, do they even bother to render a face? But that woman did have a face as we got a little closer, so. Alright, we're at 11:46. There we go. Alright, I was just going to start to say, I wonder if it's going to make us wait all the way to the end. So I usually like to get up to like 10 before I then push it a little higher. Then I get it to like 70 and get to 20. And then finally run all the way up, because I have at times gotten a wheel slip, which obviously negates some points. So if we cannot do that, that's a good thing. So still about 13 kilometers now to get to Ingelheim, but then we're going to be on the 160 kilometer portion of the line. Alright, so now we're going up slowly. In theory, we're almost 2 minutes early, which just means we're going to be sitting longer. But it's hard not to feel like just getting there is still the target. Because at this point, like between stops, it's, we didn't leave early. It's not like anybody was in danger of not making it. Now they're on the train. I don't think anybody on the train is going to say, why did we pull in 2 minutes early? We'll open the doors. They can get out, be on their way. The ones that are exiting, the ones that aren't, are, their timetable's not changing, because we weren't planning on, we're not going to leave the other station early. But in any event, now we're on one of the high-speed portions of the line. I just do need to pay attention, because I don't know if in this other direction we've got anything that's going to just affect our line speed that I need to stay aware of. But getting up to the 160 here, so I do have to also be careful with that. Okay, that yellow was on the line next to us, not ours. So we are still green as far as I know. I think 40 is when we finally move a bit. We are still green. And once again, I don't know that I really have to be pushing it this close to the speed, because now I'm, 2 minutes ahead. As I said, all that might mean is it's kind of a version of hurry up and wait. It's like I'm moving along, but then I'm just going to be waiting 2 minutes more at the other platform. Might be what's happening, and it's probably less fun to see than going down the tracks, but it's not as if I will not have gone down the tracks before that, so I don't know. I'm trying to have some philosophy around train timetables, and that's probably something that doesn't lend itself well to philosophical musings. Yeah, I'm not quite sure why our pedestrian alarms are not going off, but it's not like I need them. Okay. 150, that yellow triangle actually woke me up a bit. I had not seen that coming up, so. Alright, let me just make sure. So I think if I go to 125, and then yeah, this is going around this turn. I do remember this on the line here. And then once we're through the turn, we can accelerate up to top line speed again. I'm going to slow down here so that I don't get speeding around the turn. Here we go. Now we've got 3.5 kilometers. But now I can go a little quicker again. So we'll do that because 3 kilometers is still 3 kilometers. The only difference is, you know, I'm not going to be able to slow down 1 kilometer out here, so I'm going to have to pay some attention because Ingelheim looks like a tiny platform, but it could also be because of the speed we're approaching it. So I think I've done this before where like 1.5 kilometers out is when I need to worry about it. Oh, there's the pedestrian warning. Whoops. Went to emergency for a moment by accident. So I'm sloughed off a point there, but yeah, now we're down below 120, which is about when we're slowing down for the other things. So yes, that was still plenty of time. That's kind of scary. All right, 1/3 of a kilometer. Now we don't have very far to go. And it's a bigger platform than it appeared. So yeah, I think it was just... So we're full service. And we'll be stopped before we know it. Because that's just how it works. Alright. So I think we're going to be cooling our jets here for a long time. Because at this point, we don't leave till 11:57. So it was going to be a 2-minute stop anyway. It's likely going to be a 4-minute stop. So put in your headphones, listen to some relaxing music, and we'll see you when it's time to depart. So there's that alarm. Again, is that the point we start losing points? Don't know. Don't want to find out. I do like the line here. It is pretty smooth. it's definitely a fun one to operate on. I definitely don't ever feel super concerned, which is always good, because I guess you could argue, it's a simulation. It should make you interested or focused. It's not like I feel I can just ignore things and not pay attention. Obviously, I had to slow down. I had to, do other things. So I do have to drive the train, but there's nothing wrong with a line that's engineered in such a way that you can run at top speed most of the time, and that the train can't really quite get there, so that even when you're up at high throttle, although really it was more that I'd be at 40% to maintain it, so I think if I was at 100, it would blow past that 160 kilometers an hour. Maybe not. Right, so this is about the time where we would have been at the platform for a minute. So our stop would have been about halfway done here. Obviously, we've been here for quite a bit longer, and our stop is more like 75% of the way done. And once again, it could go to 11:57:30. I don't know. But at this point, is this our last stop then? Yes. So we just get into Mainz. Obviously, we're going to slow down there a bit. So yeah, it may not be, although I think I recall it was like 18 kilometers or maybe more. Get my brake turned off. Make sure I'm not drifting. I'm not. Stay away from the T key. Alright. So get up to 10. Get up to 20-ish. Maybe a little quicker. Alright. So we should, unless something goes really wrong in this last segment, so as I said, about 18 kilometers, we should have a pretty healthy score. I would imagine then we'll get whatever achievement we can for this line. Just want to be careful so that I don't get hit and slapped with fines on the other end, because I could definitely see signal switching or line switching getting us down to 40 for approach speed. Alright, so we're going to be at 160 well before we get anywhere near our 150 max. There we go. But yeah, at one point, I know when we started from this end, we're able to go about 80 around the station, but I'm sure coming in, you're not going in that hard. And then there's like a segment that's 100, so some of that's going to come up as we move along this way. And then we'll have run our route for the day, or for the episode, and because obviously, as the scenario explained, this is still later in the day, the same day that we ran the fog run in the morning. And so, maybe our next run is going to be the evening run, which would make sense for how these lines operate. The engineers, I'm sure, don't just run one train during the day. They run multiple routes. So otherwise, you'd work for an hour and be done. And wouldn't that be a lovely day? And of course, if you were part-time or something, I suppose then they'd just pay you for that. But I'm quite sure people who run these trains are not just folks they get off the street, train for 30 minutes, and say, here you go, you've got the controls, good luck. I'm sure they're highly trained professionals who they'd like to keep on the payroll for years because they know then they get very good at operating the equipment. All right, a third of the way already behind us in the books, so time flies when you're flying. All right, some of the flips to the siding. I think this was the siding, or maybe not quite, because I think there were a couple extra lines. Because there was a siding where we had some train sitting that was a freight train of some sort. But it is a siding of some sort there. So, going through. Alright, just past noon. So, hopefully you're enjoying your lunch or planning on what you'll be doing when we stop. I know, I am not eating mine. I am paying attention. I am doing my job with diligence and accuracy. I say that, and then I'm sure I'll screw something up before we end here, but that's my story. I'm sticking to it. So, continue to have green line speed advance signals. But heading through a little bit of a town here. Not sure what town it is. I think there is a platform here if I remember, but I was going to say there were some stairs to allow pedestrians to go underneath. There is the platform, so in some directions we can obviously stop, but or some routes, but not this one. All right. Continuing, getting to that tension, nerves, getting close, feeling like the next shoe's about to drop, because it's just gone too well right now. It's just definitely a bit concerning. All right. So there's the 100, and now we're going from 160, so I do need to be careful. Alright, nothing under the advanced signal, so we're going at line speed, and then, again, I'm way ahead, so I'm not going to push to keep my speed up for an extended period of time. I'll pay attention to this signal, and then I'll start to slow down. Okay. So it's green, so I just keep going. And I think we're okay here. Still a kilometer to go. 3/4. We're almost where we need to be. So feeling good. Oh yeah, I'm well below now. I'm like so efficient, I didn't even know it. But in any event, we got line speed. So we can be at 100, and then we're going to be at 80. And then I'm sure we're going to need to slow down some more, so. Still at speed. Yeah, I've not come in. I don't know. I mean, I swear we were at a much different clip here. But 1.3. Got a little bit of a tunnel here because of the probably other track going above. Just don't want to lose sight of the fact I need to be down to 80. because it may turn into I need to be down to something even less. Alright, 83, 82. Here comes the tracks down from up there. But yeah, we're getting close to, we're going to be at less than a kilometer when we have to be down to 80. So it's still green and green. Alright, now we're down to 80. There we go. And unless it tricks us and I missed something, we're actually able to come in at this speed. That's crazy. I mean, that's nice. It's nice and efficient. Gets people to the platform and off the train pretty quickly. But yeah, I'm not even at full service braking. I think we'll be fine. We are on the platform. So, I think we have done it. There we go. No, we weren't supposed to be here till 12:08. Again, thank you everyone for riding with us today. We're glad hope you enjoyed your trip, and glad to have you here early on this sunny afternoon. So we'll see how all of that goes, and then we'll see. But that's early, so that beep doesn't, I don't know what that is. Before, at least, it was something that we could say, well, yeah, maybe it's what we've got, but that is not what it was, so I'm not sure. But I'm pretty sure it won't make us wait the whole time before it gives us the all clear. There we go. Well done. Today's long shift is now over, and you can enjoy the rest of the afternoon in the sun. Which is pretty much what I just told the people. But 993, I'll take that. We had to just do 750. We had a little bit of being late, so we lost some time there. We lost emergency brakes, so that accounts for our 7-point loss. But actually quite good, and we crossed into level 26 for our experience. So again, thanks for coming along. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, certainly please do that. Please drop a like if you've enjoyed these videos, and I will see you next time.